It's your girl, Quencie. We are here with Salt and Pepper. How has Gail made you?
Don't get me crying.
And we are here live at the SAG Awards. Leave a message. What's the biggest lesson motherhood has taught you?
To be honest.
Studio
I'm the Q in the studio.
All right, cutie.
It's a different world.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for being letting me know you.
It's a mental view of shit over here.
This is probably the best interview I've ever done.
You're such a great interview. My goodness.
This is honestly the best interview I've had in months.
I'm hanging out with my booskies.
Studio Q, baby.
Studio Q show. Now you know.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome to the very first day of spring. Yes, y'all, it's the first day of spring. We get the shorts out. My name is Quencie Thomas, and I am the host and founder of Studio Q. And I'd like to give a big shout out to everybody on Facebook, everybody watching on YouTube. A special shout out to Soul TV. This is my very first time broadcasting live to all of you. So please say hello in the chat. What's up? Let's get to know one another. Today is a very, very special day because I get to interview Jessica Jolia, who is special to me because she was my very, 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 very first live interview on any platform, really. Like, it was on Instagram, but she was my first live. Actually, March 18th, this past Friday, marked a year that I interviewed Jessica. She was a perfect person for me to go live with first. I mean, talented, beautiful, the whole thing. I'll put a link to our conversation from last year in the chat. Anybody who's watching this on the replay, what's up? Thank you for watching. Anybody who's listening to this on the Quencie podcast, thank you for listening. So without further ado, Jessica has taken time off a tour. She in the middle of a tour, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a war. I mean, this girl, she don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. Without further ado, let me add my girl, Jessica, to the stream. What's up, Jessica?
Hi.
What is up? Looking beautiful. I love the locks, girl. You better come on.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to go live with me on your day off. I mean, you're in the middle of a tour, so I appreciate you giving me some of your time just to catch up with you and say hello, and also, you know, just to commemorate our anniversary.
Of course.
Yes. So how has tour been?
You know what? First of all, it's like crazy because for me, it was the longest time that I've had off. And I don't know how many years. I'm used to always being gone, whether it's tour or lots of dates, you know, here and there, throughout the year, the course of the year. And when the pandemic hit, 2020 especially, you know, everything kind of shut down. And even towards the end of the year, when some people were willing to see like, oh, maybe we can do, you know, a show or two, I just was really nervous about it. And last year I ended up getting COVID twice.
Wait a second. I didn't even know you did twice. Wait a minute. Jessica, you got it. I was going to ask you about that, but hey, talk about it now. How did you do the first time, and then how far, you know, away from the first time did you get this? Like, what was the time period between getting it again?
So I got it last July, like right before my birthday. I was extremely cautious. I didn't really go anywhere unnecessarily. I would go out, you know, for groceries or to get gas or just, you know, the basic necessities, but I wasn't, you know, doing parties or anything like that. Definitely not performing. And one of my sisters went out of town and I picked her up from the airport and she didn't know she was already sick. And so I got sick from her. She actually was okay. She was sick probably the standard time frame, maybe like 5 to 10 days. For me.
Uh-oh. You didn't pause. Jessica frozen, y'all. What happened? Oh, you good now. You good.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what happened?
No, I have asthma, so it was something that I was naturally concerned about, with getting COVID. And like I said, the first few days I was fine, but it started to get progressively worse, and I unfortunately ended up in the hospital. And I was there for like 5 days, and it took me, honestly, even after they sent me home on oxygen, it took me like 2 months before I felt like, ooh, okay, I feel okay. And I decided to get vaccinated because up to that point, I just felt like I didn't have enough information. I'm definitely not like, do it or don't do it. I feel like it's a case by case situation. Everybody's different. Everybody's health concerns and needs are different. So I was just trying to do what I thought was best for me in holding off. But after I got so sick the first time, it was just kind of like, no, I really need to see if this will help me in the event that I get sick again, because they just kept talking about there's so many variants that are going to happen and it's so contagious and this, that, and the third. So I did get vaccinated, and then I did a show for New Year's Eve thinking I would be okay, and I got sick again. But the second time,
you got sick after vaccination.
Yep.
Wow.
So the first time I had it was the beginning of July, and the second time I actually got my test back like January 3rd. So I'm sure I got it between December 31st and January 1st is probably when I was actually sick. But that was a lot more mild. And also because I had it the first time, I kind of knew what to do to help myself not to progressively get worse. The first time I had no idea, because the symptoms, it didn't just, okay, smack, I'm really, really sick and I have asthma and this is what I need to do. It really felt like a cold. And then as the days went by, it was like, wait a minute, this is not like a cold. I'm having more and more trouble breathing and more fatigue and less of an appetite. So the second time around, I think I probably felt, I wouldn't even say bad, just sick, maybe like 3 days. And then I stayed away from everyone. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was like 3 days. And
Do you think that the vaccination helped?
I think so for me. I know it's different for everybody, because I have friends who haven't been vaccinated and they have never gotten any variant. And then I have relatives who are boosted and they've gotten it 2 and 3 times. So I really think it just depends. Yes. I think it really just depends on each person. And we don't have a lot of information about, what exactly it actually even is. I mean, they're saying to get vaccinated. And like I said, I waited for a bit, but when I got it, I felt it was the best choice for me. And I do think, although, I don't think I'll know for sure, because the variant that I got the second time, Omicron, was supposed to be more contagious, but less intense. I don't know if, let's say I didn't get vaccinated, if I wouldn't have gotten as sick anyways, but I would like to think that with the vaccine, it did help me.
Jessica, we don't want to play Russian roulette with somebody who has asthma. So no. I am very grateful that you got vaccinated.
Thank you. Yes. No, I appreciate that. Like I said, I believe, I'm not a doctor, but I do believe that it helped me the second time around. I haven't gotten the booster shot. I'm eligible for the booster shot. I haven't gotten it yet, just because the way our tour schedule is going and the routing happens to take place when we go overseas. When I was eligible to get the booster shot, it was the beginning of February, and I was looking at the time frame, because it says, as time progresses, the further away you get from being, boosted, the less effective the booster shot is. And we're going to Europe in the summertime. So since I had it in January, I'm like, fingers crossed I'll be okay until I get to take a break right before we go to Europe, and then I'll get that again. And hopefully it works. And like I said, I'm a person that is very much about information. I do my due diligence and I do my research, and I was a person who held off at first. And I do understand why people don't get it, and I understand why people do get it. And I just feel like for me, it was worth at least trying to see if it would help me, because I ended up being a person who was so sick. And I was very cautious. I did the hand sanitizer. I didn't do anything extra. I took extra supplements, and I still ended up being sick. So that was, for me, what I thought was the best choice. And so now we're out on the road, and I'm still being careful, and I have my mask when I go here and there. And a lot of times I'm in my room like I am now. I just try to stay away from the germs.
Deservedly so. Anybody sent home with oxygen, my goodness, Yeah, but what I love about Jessica is, like, even when I interviewed her last year and she was sick, beyond sick, had to go to the hospital. It's always something with you on tour, girl.
It is. It is.
She she had to go to the doctor, but like you plow through, because I was reading on your Instagram. Let me just your teacher, your instructor. Oh my gosh, look, listen to this, y'all. She's not just a singer, songwriter, producer, all around Cancer boss. Cancer as in zodiac sign, because that's my sign as well. But let me just read this. Jessica, is a full-time student at Full Sail, and Jessica's instructor suggested her retaking the class following the following month. However, stubborn Jessica, they didn't say stubborn.
That's me. That's fair.
However, Jessica was determined to complete all the assignments by the last day of the program. In the following week, she continued early morning breathing treatments and took various medications to get her oxygen saturation higher. As daunting an obstacle as it was to try and catch up on 3 weeks of work, it gave her something to focus on besides COVID. Okay, so she's going to just plow into work. Initially, she spent about 30 minutes on schoolwork each day to start, and as her health slowly improved, she increased her time spent on homework to hours getting work done. By week number 5, she not only caught up after falling behind, she finished 3 weeks early, celebrated, check this out, y'all, with a 4.0 GPA and a final grade of 98% for the entire program. Girl, bye. Who are you?
I know.
I
don't like not doing well at anything.
I see.
I can't help it. I can't help myself.
But listen, at the expense of breathing, Lord Jesus, you
well,
were doing it.
So, but look, but fair enough. They sent me home with an oxygen tank. So I mean, even if I was struggling, it was like, just turn the dial up a little bit. Just do what you gotta do. Just you gotta finish that. I didn't like that. I mean,
Jessica done froze again. I don't know what's going on. Where you at, girl? Where you at?
Here we are.
There you go. Yeah, you good.
Okay. My signal's crazy. This is supposed to be the best space in my room. I'm in my hotel room right now. But no, I don't think the teacher was trying to be negative or facetious at all. It's just, I'm sure that the professors deal with students who have COVID, and some people probably don't get very sick, and a lot of people get, more sick than others. And then you just kind of do, a case by case basis. And the fact that they knew I was in the hospital was, my doctor actually gave me a doctor's note when I left. You don't need to do anything for 2 months. It was 2 months. And I was like, okay, I won't go to the gym. That's cool. But I need to do other things. And so I understood where my professor was coming from. But at the same time, I was like, but I can't do anything but be at home and sit and try to recover. So if I felt like, oh, I just don't even have the energy to open up my laptop, that would be a different situation. But I'm like, I'm kind of laying and resting anyway. So let me just try. And I appreciated that they gave me the option of retaking it if I needed to. But I was like, I don't think I need to. So let me see. And if I see that when I'm trying, I'm overexerting myself and it's too much, at least I tried. But I was not okay with, just go ahead and skip it for this time and circle around next month and see how. No, that's just not me.
No, listen, the only reason I wanted to read the whole thing is because regular people, just regular average Joes out here, they not doing that. So I had to read the whole thing, because in the end, you still got a 4.0. In the end, through COVID, you still, got your
that
grades.
Was my goal.
And everything. Yeah.
That was my goal. And I was okay with trying, and if trying was just overexerting myself and really needing to do what the professor advised, I was okay with that. It wasn't that I was, no matter what, I'm going to do it, even if I'm on my deathbed. Like, I was realistic, but I'm just not a person that's just very easily deterred. And so it was like, no, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate it, because I know it's coming, or I hope that it's coming from a good space, in that you want me to have the time to get back to regular me, But I was just like, why would, I'm almost done. At this point, I'm almost done. Why would I delay finishing if I don't have to?
No, I get it. No, listen, I get it. Listen, before I went to meet Whitney, I had just finished my thesis for my master's degree. And she was like, no, just go. I was like, ma'am, No, ma'am. Okay, I know I'm going, but I'm gonna need you to sign off on this
Exactly.
before I go. So
exactly. I need to get this done.
I was like, no,
That's
you
what
don't need
needs
to
to happen.
sign this. Yeah, because when I come back, I need this to be straight. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
I totally
I was coming from the same place. I need to finish.
no, I get it, but I'm just letting you. I'm just trying to illustrate that that's a rarity and it should be shined on. So that's dope.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm still glad that your health wasn't, compromised, but I love that go-getter in you. It's just so much, it's like boss energy. I just love that. So I like to highlight that all the time. Well, I want to when you were sick, I want to get to the music because one of the things that I know when you are sick like that, did you have time? I mean, besides all the work that you had to do for school, to just reflect on all the amazing moments that sometimes we take for granted or just go so fast, because we're on to the next moment, on to the next moment, on to the next moment. Because, I look, I'm on StreamYard. I got a few clips that I want to show to highlight just some of the things, girl. I'm like, I done learned something new. But I just want you to talk about, anything that crossed your mind while you were in that state, just about your career thus far. Y'all, she done froze again.
Oh,
it's like actually, no, there you go. You good. Okay. No, you done froze again. Y'all, yeah. Maybe you need to leave and come back in.
Okay, wait. Let's see.
Okay, now you okay.
Let's see.
You still frozen, girl. You
Let's
doing the
see.
mannequin challenge. She gonna leave and come back in because her hotel room, the Wi-Fi janky, y'all. But Jessica, she's shining. She's a strong woman. See all the stuff that she done been through? Jackie Jones, this is a great video. Thank you, Jackie. John L. Brown said, go get your booster shot. He definitely talking to Jessica because I got my booster. I don't want her to be sick. What's up, Midnight R&B Edition? Chastity in the building. Okay, let's get Jessica back in there. Hey, girl.
Okay, we're going to try it again.
Yes. I just wanted you to speak on, being in that state because you were sick twice, and just not performing because of the pandemic is one thing, but to be sick. So did you have time to just like reflect on some of the amazing things or some things that you wanted to, do in the future as well?
You know what? I really did. I don't like anything that has to slow me down. So it was definitely frustrating to have to deal with being sick for so long. The first time, the second time, like I said, it wasn't so bad. But because I had so much downtime, I did take deliberately the opportunity to say, this is unfortunate that especially like I said, because I was the one annoying person that was like, I'm not doing anything. If you're not in my bubble, I'm not going to see you. I'm sorry. I love you. We can FaceTime. And I ended up getting sick anyway, but it did force me, I feel like in a way, to just kind of go back to what I had done prior to. I mean, for me, I felt like my 2020 was very different from a lot of people in the sense that I felt comfortable staying at home and being productive at home. And I didn't really feel that I had such a difficult adjustment to not being able to go to the studio to get work done because everything was, I always have a remote setup. So I had that available and I was still able to use that as my outlet. And I didn't feel that, kind of separation from studio I didn't feel like I wasn't able to get my ideas out because I couldn't leave and, XYZ. So I understand that if you're a person who's not, familiar with the setup and you can't record at home, that you do have that, but I didn't have that. So 2020 for me was a very productive year and I did get a lot of work done and I was able to release, a handful of songs. Was I frustrated that it took so long for me to
They won't let us be great today. I don't know
They
what's the problem.
won't.
Keep going. Go ahead. You good? You
But
good?
you know, because I was able to, in the space of being frustrated about not being able to move forward with new things, I was still able to look back and say, you know, you have all the tools, and you had all the tools and resources to be able to get your ideas out when there are so many people who couldn't. And not because they're not capable, but because that wasn't a particular interest of them to learn how to engineer and do things remotely if that needed to happen. You know, so yes, I was able to appreciate it. But like I said, it was like, a girl, I was a person in the shower, like, me. Nope, still not there. Me. Nope, still not there. I was trying my best, like, no. I mean, cracking and all kind of crazy stuff. And I was like, okay, Jesus, well, just let me be patient enough to get it back. Because if it don't come back, I mean, I got to do a whole new career plan.
I'm sure you were doing it prematurely too. I'm sure you were in the shower way before you were better, trying to get back to your peak.
I was, because I'm like, ooh, the hot water's going, and I got some tea tree oil in here, and I'm feeling good. No, your voice said, "Ma'am, have a seat."
Have a seat, because nothing can substitute rest.
No, and I'm not used to that. I learned to appreciate it. It was unfortunate that it was because I was sick that I learned to appreciate that rest, but I did. And so, you know, then when I was able to get back to a space where, even with exercise, I had to gradually, like, the first time I tried to walk around the block, I was visiting my sister, and she walks her dog every couple of days. And I said, okay, they gave me so much stuff to take home with, and they gave me a pulse oximeter. So you put it on your index finger just to see what your oxygen levels are like. And I was like, okay, I have it with me. I'll just try to take a walk with you. And this was literally probably 3.5 weeks after I had been home. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do my best. Here we go. So you get like halfway around the block, and I'm like, I can't breathe, and I'm walking. That's it. And it's not like I can't breathe and I need an inhaler or something to save me, but it was like this, like I shouldn't be in this much distress.
Yeah.
So it was me, a lot of me, like, you know, I'm trying to do probably too much too soon. But at the end of the day, when I got back to the space of I'm healthy again, I just was able to like reflect on so much. A lot of what you said, like reflecting on what I had accomplished, being grateful for the ability to recover, because I know so many people had a different outcome than I did. And then just projecting forward, like, okay, but I still want to do this. So what am I going to do moving forward to keep myself healthy, or as healthy as possible? Because unfortunately, in some cases, you know, I could go just pick up a juice and, oh, well, the juice was contaminated and I didn't know, and, you know, XYZ. But it was a very interesting time. It was a time of, you know, accepting the fact that I had to rest when I didn't want to, letting my lungs, number one, because I had COVID pneumonia. So my lungs were very messed up. Thankfully, I didn't have any scarring, but it's when you have to deal with pneumonia, and I've had it a few times since I was a kid, it's just a very laborious recovery. And, you know, like if you're like me and you're impatient, you just want to get back to it, you can't, no matter what. So yeah, you're right. I was in the shower. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Yes. Listen, I want to tell me how long. I'm about to play a clip of Jessica singing live. Something I found on the internet. Okay. And when we come back, I want you to tell me how long it took for you to get back to this place.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Girl, I was trying to sing with you, girl. can't even find a note within my vocal cords, but I'll listen. Yeah, girl. I was trying to sing with.
Hey, come on.
Okay, yeah.
You heard it.
See? You ain't gonna get me either. The last time you got me. This time, I am going to let you sing for the people.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what was I. I'll tell you exactly what I was trying to sing. "Sweet Thing" is like literally one of my favorite songs, and it's probably the song that I've sung the most of every cover song live. And I'm like, okay, I know I can sing "Sweet." If I can sing "Sweet Thing," I'm okay. That means I'm getting better, right? Child. And mind you, I'm in the shower with my tea tree oil and everything else, and I'm just to the but it was like and I was like, and I'm like, oh, are we swollen? No. That's all I could get, and I was like,
do that other part again. Do the real part. Do the real one that you normally could do.
And I definitely couldn't do that. Girl, please. I had no range. I was like, am I gonna be a baby?
Now you know what the rest of us feel like, Jessica.
I was really like, so maybe I should.
What did that feel like to be able, like, singing probably comes so naturally, and you probably sing throughout the day and with the radio, with your own stuff. So to be able to go for that note and it's nothing there, what does that feel like as an artist?
It's scary. It's always scary though. I think even when I was younger and I would get sick and it would anything, because for me, like, just because I have asthma, I think that the average person could get like a sinus infection or a head cold and it stays in your head and that's it. But 9 times out of 10 for me, whatever I get travels into my chest, and then that's when I start having the chest and the throat issues. So losing my voice and not being able to sing, the low and the high ends of my range is not unusual for me. And I think I probably am always afraid, even when I know, it's just a cold and eventually it'll go away. But with COVID, because there was so little information and so many people would come back with, well, now they have long COVID and this is affected and that is affected. And so you don't know every individual still, it seems like each person is different. And so to me, it was like, does that mean like I'm not going to be able to sing the same way? Does it mean that it's going to take longer for me to get better? How will that impact me in the long run? And so like, I'm not even lying. I was like, maybe I just need to sing baritone. I don't know. Maybe we need to maybe we need to rethink the way that you're writing and the songs that you love so much. You probably got to lower the key 3 or 4 steps. I mean,
oh my,
it was a different space, and like I said, I'm used to, temporarily it goes away and then it comes back. But when you have some illness that's new and there's not so much information about it, it's like, does that mean like I can't? Yeah. And then how does that affect me? Because like you said, I sing every day. And whether I'm performing or not, I wake up singing and I'm singing in the shower and I'm singing on my way to the store. Like, that's just me. So to not have your voice working the way you need it to in the moment, is just like, so what am I going to do now? Like, I can't even be somebody's vocal coach. I can't do nothing. Like, Lord, don't listen to me. I'm a mess right now.
I can't give an example. I'm so glad that you recovered. I mean, okay, so now it's 2022. You done been through COVID twice. Yeah. And you're on tour, about to go to Europe soon. I'm hearing from your conversation. Who are you on tour with? How did this come about? Let us know where we can see you over in Europe. Like, girl, because Soul TV, a lot of people from Europe may see this now or watch this later. So they might want to catch you in a live show.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I had taken a lot of space and time away from touring. And some of it, initially was, it's unavoidable. Everything is shut down. But when things started to open back up, I would get calls and I was afraid. First and foremost, before I even got sick, I was definitely like, no, I don't. And then after I got sick and I was so sick, I was like, I just need to give my body a chance to get back to what I feel like is good and strong and able to perhaps deal with it again if I were to catch it again. So I waited for a while. And then I got a call, I want to say maybe in October or November of last year. And a lot of the work that I do when I'm touring with other artists is just referrals. And that's the one thing that I appreciate about the music community that I've come to be a part of. We really all look out for each other. So my friend Lucas, he was like, listen, my friend Rob is tour managing this band. Their name is Kaleo. They're an Icelandic like blues rock band. You may or may not, be familiar with their music, but they're becoming very popular in the States because they've had so many placements on all these different television shows and in film and XYZ. And I said, okay, well, let me think about it, because I have gotten sick before and I recovered. And at that point I had gotten vaccinated fully too. So I was like, well, let me see. And I listened to their music and I'm like, I definitely know these songs. I just think because my mind was in a different space and it's pandemic that I wasn't really paying attention to, who the artist actually was. But I appreciated the music. And I said, yeah, like, I think I'll be okay with that, especially like I said, because I'm vaccinated. So hopefully I don't get sick again, which I did, but whatever. And then we just kind of, piece things, because everybody's in different, like the band is, they are from Iceland, so they live there. And there are crew members in Nashville and some in LA and kind of spread out all over the place. So a lot of the pre-prep work was done, via email and Skype and FaceTime and XYZ and all those things. And then we finally came together in February for rehearsal. And we did our first show in February, and we've been going ever since. We have shows through, I want to say mid-May in North America. So it's in the States and some in Canada. And then we have a little bit of time off, and then we go to Europe for the summer, and then have another short break and then go back to Europe. So I do have the band's Instagram is, I believe, it's official Kaleo. But I also have the schedule posted on my page. So
let me do a banner. I got a Jessica CNN banner. Follow Jessica. I know it's gonna be on your Instagram, your Twitter. Yes.
I'm so glad you said that, because I really worked hard to do that early on in my life, in my career. Get Jessica Jolia on every single platform. Try to make it easy. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I posted the schedule there. I don't have a whole lot of pictures posted right now, so it actually should be easy to find. And it will show obviously the dates we've already done, and then the upcoming, and then the European dates as well. But yeah, it's a very fun group of people. They're all very talented, very warm and genuine people. Us Americans, we're kind of us and in our way, and they're not like that. They're very like, everybody loves everyone, and it's so sweet. I appreciate working with them.
Nice. Sound like a breath of fresh air too, with that kind of energy. Girl, she done froze again. Now I think now I know why she freezing, because she working with people from Iceland.
They're watching us, making sure I don't say anything wrong.
I'm glad you said that, because if you guys have any questions for Jessica, during our conversation, just put a Q in front of your question, and I'll make sure to ask it before we end our conversation. Well, I'm so proud of myself. I usually just ignore, not on purpose, but just because I usually do interviews in person, and there's always people around. And so I'm not ever focusing on the people around, just the person that I'm interviewing. So it's a whole new, like, oh, wait a second. Okay. But listen, John L. Brown said, get your booster shot.
No, I am. I'm getting it. I'm getting it in May. I had to time it because I wanted it to be closer to when we're going overseas. Because I'm like, okay, if I had it in January, I should be okay for like, I think they say like up to maybe, well, they don't even really know for sure, but like 90 days, maybe up to 6 months, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that, because what I didn't want to do was get it when I also have a natural immunity. And then by the time it's time to leave, it started to wear off. So I'm like, let me kind of rely on my body for now, and then I'm going to get it.
Okay, Dr. Fauci. All right, Dr. Fauci.
You know me, I be reading a little bit. I try to say
George Cavanis asked, how many background singers do you have? I think right now you're supporting them, right? Or they're a band, or how does it work?
I'm supporting them. So there are two of them.
Two, okay, awesome. And who's the other background singer? Is she cool? You been having fun with her as well? Girl.
Of course. I was gonna say, of course I'm frozen when you ask me that. Yes.
It's all good.
Her name is she's probably watching too. Her name is April Rucker, and she's amazing. She's great. She's very easy to work with, very talented. She comes from Nashville, so we all met up in Nashville, and she was already at home base. And she has a long history of touring with various artists. I think a lot of artists that are in the rock or the country or the blues genre. But yeah, she's great. And just a great person too. I love that people can be talented and easy to work with, but outside of all those things, when it's just an off day or, whatever, she's great. So yes.
Nice.
And I think probably all of their social media is the same too, but yeah.
Nice. And what, I interviewed somebody last week, Beth, and she's coming out with her second album, but she still does background for Kim. You know what I'm saying? And I think so. Can you just talk about being a independent artist, but also willing to go support other artists as well?
Absolutely. Still. Yeah, absolutely. For me, one of the most important things that I wanted to accomplish was just achieving the goal that I've had since I was a kid, and that's establishing my label and kind of defining what I want my label to be about, how I want it to work.
Decade of Records in the house.
Decade of Records, that's right. However, my management team and I, over the course of honestly, since the beginning of the pandemic, we've had multiple meetings with different labels where there have been opportunities presented for joint ventures. But when you look at the numbers, they don't make sense for me based on my contribution. I think there's a lot of opportunity for people who maybe they perform well and they sing well, but they don't necessarily write their material and they're not producing the music and XYZ. And then the opportunity is I'm me and I'm bringing me to you. And then you do the rest of the business side of things that maybe I'm not in a position to do or don't have an interest in doing. But because I've done so much, it's just like I've literally very recently ended a meeting on I appreciate you, but a no thank you, because they listen to the music and, oh, the music is great. And, you're talented, and they can see footage of me performing, whether it was my stuff or, for other people. And they want to do like an 80-20 deal where it's 80% in their favor. And the justification is because we're going to market it for you. And if you don't have marketing, then no one hears you. And yes, you do need marketing, but at the expense of me giving up what I actually contributed. Now, it would be different if like I said, I'm singing and that's all I got. And you're going to say that I'm going to arrange for songwriters to come in and producers to come in.
Jessica froze again, y'all.
Here I am again.
So, yes, you was just singing. That's where you left off.
If you were just singing and you didn't really bring anything else to the table, then I could understand. And I would never still say like 80-20. I think in most cases is kind of crazy. But for a person you are the voice and you are the face and you are behind the music production and you are the songwriter and the engineer and all these other things, it's not a fair, if you want to use the word fair, exchange. Yeah. I give you 80% of everything that I've created and anything that I'll create in the future for you to let people hear me. It's like, I feel like maybe I should just figure out how to be more creative in getting people to know who I am versus assigning and allocating all of these things that should by right belong to me, or if it's me and like two other people, because most of the time when it comes to the music and the production, I am working with the same few people, so to say all this hard work that we've done, we're going to give most of it away to them because they have the button to press to make sure that everybody hears it. No, that's just not really my thing,
Mm-hmm.
So
is that what they call the 360 deals? Is that
well, 360? I mean, that's kind of a 360 deal. It could be. I definitely have been presented with 360 deal opportunities. My intention, if I was ever going to collaborate with another label, would be like a joint venture, like your label, my label. This is what I bring. This is what you do, and it makes sense. The splits make sense and everything else. I'm certainly not. I've never asked for anything that was unfair, but I am not willing to take something unfair because my goal has not been, I just want my name in lights, even if I'm poor.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just kind of got to look at it like, okay, it's okay to say no. And sometimes we've gotten so close. And then when you realize, no, this is just a no, it's frustrating because it's something I've been working towards for a while. But I still, I believe that when things are supposed to happen, the right thing in the right situation, the right group of people, that will come to be. And in the meantime, I don't have a problem supporting other people because I'm still using my voice. I'm keeping my voice in shape. And I think the thing that I love the most about touring is the engagement that you have with the crowd. And because it's still the pandemic, it's a little bit different. So you don't get to do the meet and greet. You can't, reach out and touch. You can't do that. No, I don't want to. I love you, but
don't be teasing us because look. You're not leaving without singing something about Whitney Houston, something at the end. I'm gonna wait to the end, girl.
I can't touch, so
yeah,
I'm trying.
That makes
It's like you want to, but you might have COVID. So it's a little bit different.
I love that about you. I love that about you because it's not like you said, I don't want to be poor, my face plastic. Like you're a boss, you're, and so many people, especially artists, get ripped off, because they don't know their worth and they're so excited to have people hear their music. You know what I mean? Yep. And all the things that you say, oh yeah, put my stuff out there or whatever, and selling the best of them, the best of them.
Yeah, because I think, don't get me wrong, there are definitely artists who need lots of shaping and molding, and I think that's a great thing because if a person if an A&R is doing their job and they see, okay, he or she has this thing and maybe it takes XYZ to really pull it out to the fullest potential, but we're going to invest in that's great. But there are also people who've literally been doing this the majority of their lives, and especially these younger people who've been able to come up with all this technology right in front of them, right? So it's not fair to say, but I get to press the button and make sure everybody hears you, so now I need to get the most of the money. Well, no, because the no for me is if I'm trash, you can press the button and nobody's going to listen to it anyway.
Come on now.
Not, if what I have is garbage and you press the button and it's kind of like, it didn't work, then that's one thing. But if they continue to listen to it, if, my fan base continues to grow, if more and more people want to see me perform live or download my music and XYZ, of course, a portion of it is because you made it so that people are aware that the music exists. But if what I have isn't good, it doesn't matter. You can give somebody something for free and they'll be like, oh, I don't like it. Free or not, I don't like it,
Exactly. And you can't make people like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No matter what.
You got that little, you could fizz it up and then it just settles back down.
Exactly. So I think, honestly, that's what it is for me. I mean, I appreciate that I have a great management team. They're very supportive and understanding. No one has ever put me in a position where it's like, if you don't take this, you might not have another opportunity. No, they understand these are the objectives. If we have the opportunity where the minds are meeting and we're right here and it makes sense to go forward, then we'll do that. If it doesn't make sense and it seems like an opportunity, because that word is used so loosely, where, I end up, sure, people know more about me and more people are aware and more people are listening, but I'm only getting a tiny percentage. No, I'd rather not. Just keep working towards what I'm actually working towards.
Because the great thing about not just that mindset that you have, but you have actually manifested, opportunities that maybe a label couldn't have even given you. Sure. You know what I mean? Just you. Like for instance, singing "Spend My Life with You" with the great Eric Benet. Roll the clip, Q. Roll the clip. Girl, I was trying to sing again. Look, Jessica frozen, y'all. But I was like this, listening to her sing with the great Eric Benet. Jessica, there you go. Now you're frozen again. We're gonna call this interview Frozen. That's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna stream Let It Go underneath. Look, she's frozen again. I'm gonna call her Elsa. You're good now. Yeah, you're good. Well, I think you go to the left a little bit or something. To the right. Oh, she went out. She's smart. That's that cancer energy. She's like, let me go out and come back in. That was Jessica singing with the great Eric Benet. And, you know, she's an independent artist doing that. Okay, let's see. She's trying to connect y'all. Okay, let me add her. There you go. I'm going to say it's the whole. There you go. Whoo, you're moving, girl. You're moving.
Can you see me? Can
So,
you hear me?
yes, you can move, you can see. So when you look back and see moments like that with the great Eric Benet, I mean, what do you think? Like, oh my goodness, I've done this as an independent artist. We're gonna see if she move again. Yeah, this whole interview gonna be called Frozen.
I'm like,
talk
a
little about Eric Benet.
Okay. Can you see me? Can you hear me at least?
I can see you, but I got the picture up just in case you freeze
Okay,
while
perfect.
you're talking.
Okay. What I was gonna say was that clip that you chose to play, actually, I am probably more proud than most people realize. Not because that was my best vocal performance, but I had bronchitis very, very bad that day. I mean, very. Like when I woke up, I couldn't talk.
Wow.
And I think we were in Baltimore. Is that from the jazz festival there?
This picture
Maybe?
Or the performance?
The clip
I
that
grabbed
you
this
played.
picture. You know, I just went on the internet, girl. I just put Jessica Jolia. I don't
Okay,
even know
I think it was a jazz festival in Baltimore that we did. And I was
Okay.
very, very sick that day. I woke up, I couldn't talk. I told him and the front of house engineer, like, I don't think there's nothing I can take that's gonna help me get through this show. I'm so sorry. They were like, well, we'll just turn you up, you know, just try your best. And I did all the natural things that I could do. So I ate like a ton of raw garlic and I ate ginger and I drank a bunch of tea and I was in the shower probably for 2 hours trying to get my vocal cords loose. Time that set was done, I had lost my voice completely again. But I had such a hard time up to that point, and I didn't know somebody was, of course they're going to record the time that I'm sick as a dog, and that's what's on YouTube, right? But I'm like, wow, considering how sick I was, that didn't sound too bad.
Nah, you did good. And that's why I love doing interviews, because you get to find out the backstory. Nobody probably would have ever known what you went through for that one moment in time. You know what I mean? So like you said, it might not be my best, but let me tell you, I couldn't even talk that morning.
No. Like that day was a struggle day, the whole day. And when we got there, I was like, okay, let me make sure, you know, the songs that I'm just singing background, I'm going to sing really, really light and I'm going to give everything I can. And hopefully I don't crack and nothing else crazy happens. Because, you know what, and that's the thing when, like, people don't understand. It's like, yeah, sometimes people are just happen to be not the most fantastic at singing. But then there's a lot of times where you just don't have control over your voice and it has a mind of its own and it just does what it does. And you're like, well, that's not what I was trying to do.
It's a muscle. And it's a muscle. You know, you have to take care of it.
Yep. So that I mean, the clip again, like, whoo, I survived. So there's that. But also just having the opportunity to work with him, it's just nothing that I ever thought would happen. I was always a fan of his music. I listened to it and I was young. And now that I'm older and I go back and I listen to the lyrics, I'm like, that's funny that my parents let me listen to some of this stuff so mature, you know, like not necessarily inappropriate or inappropriate, but I was a kid and I loved his voice and I loved, you know, his songs. But not one time did I think, let me make sure I learn these songs because one day I'm going to sing with him.
Singing with him one day.
Right. And so the first time we actually had a rehearsal, I remember we went into rehearsal and we sat down with everybody and everybody was super nice. And he was just, you know, kind of handpicking the songs that he wanted to go over completely from the set list. We didn't run the whole thing, but there were certain things he just kind of wanted to hear what I was going to do. And I don't remember the song, but there was one song we were doing in particular. And we're singing and I'm just doing my little background thing or whatever. And he stopped everybody. And I was like, oh, did I do something wrong? You know, like, what is he going to say? And he said, you really know my music. And I was like, no, I told you, like, I've listened to this for a long time. And he said, but you know my vibrato.
That's what I love about him. He's a real musician. Like, he's not just a singer. He's in there in the studio producing and writing the whole nine.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like, it was such a big deal to me. The way that I ended up having the opportunity, I had just moved to LA. One of my good friends from home was doing sound for Guapole. And at the time, Guapole was signed to Eric Benet's label. Did a show, they performed a duet together, and he was there, and he was like, "Ooh," he was like, "Not to steal you away, but can you do a couple shows with me?" And I'm like, "Absolutely," and of course. But then that, again, on again.
Yep. But you ended with he stole you away. You still frozen though, girl. I don't know what we're gonna call this interview, Jessica. You still frozen, girl.
Oh.
Okay, now you good. You good. Now you're not. I think it's the Wi-Fi at your hotel. That's all. It happens. That's virtual, girl. She went out and came in. She coming back in. Listen, y'all, she doing the best she can with the Wi-Fi she got. So thank you for bearing with us. Cause we ain't got no control. We ain't got no control over technology. We just have to go with it. Just okay, you good, girl. I was about to imitate you. You frozen again. I mean, can you scoot your chair over to the left? To the left. This damn StreamYard. I don't know if it's a StreamYard or the Wi-Fi. But see, shout out to Jackie Jones in the comments. Shout out to Oscar Wadlington. I'm just gonna say Oscar from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, checking in. Thanks for checking in with us. Jessica gonna come back in. She's gonna do something with a wire hanger, get some Wi-Fi going. Jeffrey in the building. George from North Carolina. I've seen you a few times on my interview, George. I appreciate you coming through. Okay. Jessica,
I had to change my location. I don't know if this is gonna work better.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I don't know. The lighting might not be as good. I might have extra bags and whatnot, but here we are. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying.
Thank you for being a trooper. You know what I'm saying? You didn't carry oxygen tanks, so I know you can deal with this.
My goodness.
So Eric Benet stole you away, and obviously you guys just must have clicked as people too, because he still seems like he's just as supportive now as he was back then.
Yep, he checks on me every now and again. I still do, one-offs here and there as both of our schedules allow, because he's equally busy now.
Yeah, that COVID is the pandemic is not as pandemic-y. Look, she froze again, y'all.
Am I frozen now? No, this is
you good now. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, you good. Listen, I'm taking every second. This is when you appreciate every second with somebody.
I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying.
So she is. You're a trooper. You are a trooper. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course. Yeah, but no, like you said, he's very supportive. And when we have the opportunity to connect, still we do. But I mean, even prior to now and prior to pandemic, when I was touring mostly with him, every opportunity he had, like, especially before and after we would sing the duet together, he would always introduce me. But then he would say, "And go check out her latest single XYZ." And that's not. It's not very common. I've worked with a lot of people, and a lot of people can tell you, to your face, like, "Oh, you're so talented, and thanks for being here, and I appreciate you." But then when it comes to other people and introducing you to other people, they just won't, for whatever reason, And he was never that way. He's not that way with me still. And it's so funny because I'll text him here and there and be like, I see you you're stalking me on my Twitter, because somebody will post something from a show that I've done with someone else, and he'll be like, I told y'all Jessica Jolia was dope first.
He's like, I get dibs on that right there.
Yes.
I love that. Listen, that's the way I'm going to be when you win your Grammy. I'm going to be like, let me pull that clip. I said she was going to win a Grammy. I totally believe that. You're going to have a super hit one day soon. Like I already saw that. My favorite song of yours, Sometimes, I think I saw a post on Decada Records Instagram, 10 million views on TikTok. That
10 million.
Just,
talk about it. Because we haven't spent any budget on marketing and promotion. That's 1,000% organic. And since then, it's almost at 15 million now. And that's probably within like maybe 6 weeks time. And I haven't done anything. It's just the song is available. If you hear it and you like it and you want to use it, go for it. And so that goes back to my point of, just because you're willing to push a button to make more people hear it doesn't mean it will work. It will work because it's good. And so let's make a deal where it's fair, because yes, it's necessary for you to use your reach and whatever else to make sure that, the most people possible can hear it, and especially targeting the right people that want to hear that type of music. But it doesn't take away from how great the music is or not. Either way, right?
Yeah.
So here I am.
There you go. Girl, you froze again. Listen. I don't know what to tell y'all, but Jessica is a trooper, okay? You moving now. You moving. Your eyes is blinking. No, you are. And I appreciate you for hanging on in there.
I really am.
You are. You done went out 15,000 times, So I appreciate I appreciate you. That's amazing, though. 10 million. That's my joint too. Look. I'm gonna have people. Y'all need to know what my favorite Jessica. It's only 20 seconds, 23 seconds of it. I hope copyright don't get me, Jessica. Okay.
To just walk away when everything you have to shatters and breaks, and sometimes it hurts to say your goodbyes. So I'll say hello to heartache for a little while.
I love that song, and you wrote it. I did all the music, everything, right?
I did. I wrote it, and I worked with Rhythm Section Entertainment. So that's Big Mike Hart and Buddy Bangs. And we just kind of locked ourselves in a studio for probably, 14 hours. I had some lyrics that I had started with, and I was like, okay, Mike, just play something, and then let me just see where it goes. And we spent that entire time start to finish, and we got it done. And that was my first single that I released. As much as I had been singing already and playing different instruments, that was my first, hey, it's me song. So it'll always be special to me because it was the first song. And I think it's a very great representation of me as an artist, because it showcases the writing, and it showcases the range and the vocal arrangement. And I think it highlights even just the instrumentation. Like I could never play guitar because my nails are ridiculously long. But I love guitar.
Girl, how you do anything? Look at them nails. Show them again.
And these are short. These are short for me. They're short.
Oh my God. I forgot we had that nail conversation. Lord Jesus. They back. You back. Don't hurt about that, Tiger. Listen, Katie made a great comment and had a great question. The comment was, she's legit, Katie Wilkinson in the comments, she's legit the only person that still looks great every single time the pick freezes.
Katie,
I concur. I agree.
Katie, you're so sweet.
And, I could put it on the screen. I was like, I forget I got that ability. Yeah.
That's very nice
so
of
right.
you.
She's so right though.
Like
Every time you pause,
like in my mind, I'm looking.
Look, she right. She paused again. Eyebrows popping. Still cute. You frozen, girl, but you still cute. Okay, you moved a little bit. Now it's a different pose. Katie was right. Oh, there you go. And Katie she also had a question. Have you booked to have high tea with the Queen when you hit London?
She knows that we're coming there in the summertime. No, but you can call Elizabeth for me. Try to make it happen. Her outfits are so cute. And she's so put together. Bless her heart. She's adorable.
What you say?
Like
who?
Queen Elizabeth.
Who? Queen Elizabeth. Oh, her outfits. Okay.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Was she? Is she like almost 100?
Girl, but still like snazzy though. That's how I aspire to live my life.
I love that. I love that. I ain't heard that word since February 1st. Snazzy.
She was snazzy, like, oh.
I like that. I like that. Well, listen, you talking and moving, and I don't want to jinx the God. So before I let you go, because I mean, you giving me some of your precious off day time. Okay, I appreciate you. I want you to sing anything that moves your heart, Whitney Houston. One of the things I love about you, even singing background, is Whitney did too. Whitney was like, well, we all know who Whitney is, the GOAT, okay? And Whitney's still on tour singing background for BB and CC Winans. You know what I'm saying? A gospel group. So I respect artists who do that and support one another regardless of their status, because it just says a lot about you, and you know how this whole artist thing worked, just supporting each other. But the last time, so the last time, you know, I left, she sang a Shaka Khan song and I messed it up by trying to sing it with her.
You didn't mess it up. You did not mess it up.
Girl, that's that beautiful heart of hers. But I wanted you know what I'm saying? I wanted 10 seconds, 12 seconds, something, any kind of way. I don't even know which one, just whatever you want to sing, just something so I can give to the Whitney fans. You know me, I'm all fanatical over Whitney Houston.
Sure. Let's see what comes to mind.
What comes to your mind, your heart, your soul?
Okay.
It's the first day of spring.
This is probably not first day of spring vibe, but
okay, my bad. See, I done messed it up again.
It's okay, no. It was just the first thing that comes to mind. I know that when you look at me, there's so much that you just don't see. But if you would only take the time, I know in my heart you would find. Oh, a girl who's scared sometimes, who isn't always strong. Can't you see the hurt in me? I feel so all alone. Sing it, Q. Come on. Where you at? Run to you. That's for you.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Sexual chocolate. Girl, you gonna tell me to jump in? Listen. You know this clip about to be edited and posted everywhere in 2 seconds. Ain't gonna have me in it messing it up. I don't know what you came to do.
That's one that I always love. I love that. And then I love the scene in The Bodyguard. It's so pretty how it was just gorgeous. Yeah.
And her running with the white and the hair. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Like I was on the red carpet of Cheryl Lee Ralph, Divas, whatever. And they was honoring Diane Warren, right? And I was trying to interview Diane Warren, but somebody else was trying to interview Diane, and Diane was like, interview my friend. And her friend was the guy who wrote Run to You.
Oh, wow.
The songwriter, I think his name is Alan. I can't remember his last name, but Alan. And I did a whole interview with him. He told me about Whitney singing this song and how, guess what? Just like you were, she was super sick.
Yeah.
And,
oh, really?
And he don't, yes. And he didn't know.
Tell. You could never tell. It was beautiful.
Just like you and that Eric Benet. I couldn't tell that you were sick at all.
Telling you, that was I was fighting for my life. It was Squid Games that day, okay?
She did not Squid Games.
For my life.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, somebody's Lindsay Wilkinson said, thanks for brightening up my day. You two together are hilarious. This Jessica bring it out of me. Jessica hilarious. Oh my goodness.
We do what we can, right? We're here to entertain.
Say what now?
I said we do what we can. We're here to entertain.
Listen, I'm just trying to hold your light. I'm just trying to hold your light in the back doing shoo bop, man. Well, listen, once again, I'm so honored. Can you do a drop for me and Soul TV? I done partnered up with somebody, so hopefully you don't mind. Just your name and you're watching. Your name, you're watching Studio Q, and then your name and you're watching Soul TV. But listen, can you put my name is Jessica, whatever you want to say about your career, and
ooh, that sounds like a lot. You're trying to make me think.
I know. Look, I feel like I done went and wrote a script. I'm like,
wait, what? I had it, then I lost it.
I know. I keep forgetting that for a long time I hid behind my logo and people didn't even know that Q meant for Quencie. Sure. And so I'm saying, can you watch Quencie on Studio Q? My name is Jessica, and can you watch? No, oh God, Lord. My name is Jessica, and you're watching Quencie on Studio Q. Oh Lord.
You ready?
Yeah. And then
my name is
Jessica.
Oh,
look, I done messed it up. I know. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2.
My name is Jessica Jolia, and you're watching Quencie on Studio Q TV.
Girl, you a natural. Now, one more for Soul TV.
Okay. Wait, but do I have to say you or just that is what is it?
You don't gotta say me. Just put Soul TV. Okay. Yeah.
My name is Jessica Jolia, and you're watching Soul TV.
Boom, girl. I mean, is acting in the future as well? Like,
you know what's so funny about that? I'm not even. This is no exaggeration. People have been asking me that since I was a child. When I was little, I did commercials like here and there, but it was nothing that I was like, oh, now I want to do this, because I just always loved music so much more. So I would do it like here and there for fun, and it was cool. But then as I got older, I just kept going like more and more and more towards music, and I never really got back into it. I've done a few things here and there. I actually have a couple commercials that I've done within the past like 3 or 4 years, but like, I don't know, maybe I'll slide my way back in.
Yeah, just stay open. Open, because like you know what I'm saying? Whitney wasn't, she's like, music is like this, and acting is, then you wait in your trailer for 5 hours. So she was definitely like you, but still, like, there might be a role with your name on it. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And I will say, I'm not closing anything off. I haven't, actively been pursuing opportunities in that space, but if something were to come my way and it makes sense, absolutely. I think the joy that I get from anything that I do creatively is being able to bring joy to the next person. You know, it's very fulfilling to be able to sing because you love to sing, or be able to act because you love to act. But it's, for me, whatever I do, I pour so much into it that it's like, you got something from that? Now I feel fulfilled. Not because, oh, she's got the highest notes and the best lyrics and the this and the that. I mean, those are cool things, but at the end of the day, like, my goal is always to positively impact the next person. If it's through music, if it's through acting, if it's because I wrote a book or an essay or whatever, that's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going and working towards the next goal. So if that's for me, I'm here for it.
Girl, listen, you are a true artist, so I don't see why that wouldn't be part of, don't put baby in a corner. Don't put you in a box.
Don't Don't do it.
Sky's the limit. So many
Yeah.
opportunities out there with your name on it of where you can touch people, and some stuff where you don't even have to pour your soul into it because you're just magic walking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, I received
Yeah.
that. Thank you. On this
Yes,
Sunday.
I'm manifesting that for you, girl. I'm manifesting that for you in 2022, 2023, 24, all that to come, because you got so much more to give. So much
Yeah,
more.
absolutely. I appreciate you for that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Elsa, for being so
You wrong, but that's cool. Blame the hotel, not my heart.
She was the most beautifully frozen guest in the history of StreamYard. My girl said every frame was pretty. Okay. Lindsay was like, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in my mind, I was like, I probably look crazy every single one of these times.
No, you look. No, it was a photo shoot, girl. It was. You remember in the beginning of I'm Every Woman, where they had the pictures. Yeah, that was you. You was looking cute, girl.
Well, Whitney must have been looking over today. So thank you.
Yes. I did not expect you to sing that song. I was like, oh my God, it's one of my favorites. I love it.
It's just, it's such a gorgeous. And then I feel like I do a lot of research, but I never knew she was sick when she recorded that. She sounds amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Exactly. Yep. She said he was all wrapped up, and she didn't. But you couldn't tell when she went in there and blew it away. Yeah.
No, she did an incredible job.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
Well, I know. I love so much that you love Whitney. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the many things I love about you. So thank you so much for bearing through with the Wi-Fi, celebrating our anniversary. You're the first person that I ever interviewed on anything live for Studio Q. And so you'll always be special to me. And I appreciate you being my first interview on Soul TV, and just taking time out to talk to us all today. And we're going to look for you out in the world.
Yes, please do. And of course, thanks for having me. I know we talked about this on the last interview, but I actually found you. I was probably the stalker in this case, because I saw your interviews with Whitney before you even had an Instagram page. And I was like, who is this? Because I've never seen a person do an interview with someone they don't know. And when you're watching it, it's like they know each other already. They're having a very friendly conversation. It's relaxed. It's comfortable. There's no weird, awkward moments. And I'm like, she's going to show up online eventually. I'll find her. I will. And I had no idea we were going to actually have a conversation. I was just so intrigued. Like, she's so good. Like, this is crazy. And then when you talk to them, I'm like, oh, me? You pick me? Okay.
Girl, listen, those words just warm my heart. I mean, especially about Whitney, because I was so freaking nervous and scared. And I don't even really consider that an interview. To me, that was just a love letter. Like, I love you, Whitney Houston, and this is my moment. That,
I mean, I think it was just because when you're interviewing, I suppose, because I've never interviewed another person, but when you're interviewing a person of such high status who's achieved and accomplished so much and has impacted so many people in so many amazing ways, I would think, first of all, even, composing the questions might be challenging. What do I ask? Because I'm sure she's answered the same question so many times, but it was more than even the content. It was just, the body language and, the jokes and the this is and the, I mean, it was just it looks so natural. And that's what you want as a person who's on the opposite end of an interview. You don't want to sit there where you're like, oh, this is uncomfortable, but now I'm trying not to show that I'm uncomfortable on my face. And I'm trying to figure out how to answer this question without, not answering, but then saying too much or too little, and it was just, it flows so freely. And I've seen so many interviews that she had done with other interviewers, and some were very uncomfortable and awkward. And you could tell that she made the best of it because she was so witty. But it was like, had she not been that way, this would have went a whole different direction, because the person asking the questions cared more about the drama and the what can I get out of this. versus I just want to highlight how great you are, you know? And I think you did that with her, which it's not hard to do with Whitney because she was so fabulous. But like I said, when you're a super fan and you really appreciate so many things, and then I'm sure you study different interviews, it's like, where do I begin? Because she's asked and been answered and been asked so many questions, you know, already. Like, I don't want to ask her the same things that she's heard over and over and over again. And you did such a good job. So fast forwarding to actually sitting in and having a conversation, 2 conversations with you now. I never thought that was why I was watching you so intently, but I have to, you know, give you props where they're due. And you did a fantastic job. I've seen many interviews that she sat through. Some were, I'm sure, very difficult, but she managed, and some were great. But yours, and like I said, you didn't even have a social media page. So it wasn't like, you know, I eventually got to the Whitney interview. It just happened to pop up on my Explore feed. Like, it was one that stood out, and I watched it so many times, and I was just like, this is a talent. This is a gift. It's not just, I worked on my interviewing skills. Like, it was like, no, because it's not easy to make a person that you don't know feel very comfortable in a short amount of time. And seeing it with someone, like I said, of such stature and so many accolades, like, she could interview anybody. I don't know. I mean, is Obama on the list, or did you already do that? Or
not even close, girl. Every single interview I've had, I mean, Whitney to anybody has been a miracle. Like, I don't know anybody. I don't have any connections, but God. Sure. I don't, you know, a lot of people I've interviewed just one time, you know, but because it's a Danny Glover, it matters. You know what I mean? Because I only asked one question to Oprah, but they use that clip and put it on Oprah.com. So it's like, oh, you know what I mean? But, so I don't have like 10 interviews with Viola Davis. I got one moment, but still, how did I get that one moment?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, well, as a person that's been interviewed by me, look, a self-indulgent moment. What is it that you feel that makes you feel comfortable? Because to me, you come with comfort just being you and your own authentic self.
I think I've had interviews with people where you can tell they are genuinely interested or curious in what they may be asking you, but the way that the questions come about, whether it's the tone of voice or the facial expressions or what have you, is so stale that you feel like it's, to me, it's like the difference between when I was in college and I was studying classical music and everything was stand this way and you know, do all those things, and I can't do none of this, you know, versus like, oh, we're just having a conversation. It's not like, it's not, here's the question, answer the question. Here's the question, answer the question. It's like, these are questions, but we're talking about them together. And so it's not, you know, that you ask me something and I give you a response and you're like, great. And so then what? It's more like you ask the question and then I give you a bit of it and then we go into more dialogue about that question. And that's what makes it comfortable. It makes it feel, you know, very conversational and not like I'm under, you know, an eyeglass, like
microscope. Gotcha.
No,
you know, you've done a lot of other interviews. You're an artist. Duh. You've done all kind of interviews with other people. Yeah.
And some have been like, fortunately so far, and I'm sure, you know, if as life continues to progress and more interviews come by, you know, I'm sure that I'll have more experiences with people whose either interviewing skills may not be as great or their intentions might not be as great, because some people take the interviews because they want to try to get dirt, you know, and I don't like that stuff either. And I haven't really had to deal with that. But, you know, like I said, I would say of all the interviews I've done, it's just, to me, anytime I feel like I'm in a space where I'm just naturally having a conversation and I don't feel like I can't say this word, I can't do this thing, I have to, you know, be this and this and that. If I could just be myself, like, those are the best. And still, I said it last time and I'll say it again. This is still, I mean, the number 2, but it's the best interview because it feels like I'm just sitting talking with my friend, you know. I'm not, you know.
I'm giving you the tambourine. It's Sunday and you get the tambourine.
But that's what makes it so great, you know. I'm not.
Thank you so
Ooh,
much.
let me try to pull
Thank
an answer out of the sky. Let me just say what it is.
Yeah, no, and I'm genuinely just interested in the story because it connects us all. You know what I mean? It connects us all. Somebody can see something in you that could spark something in them. And, they see you, they don't know your story. They don't know that you had COVID twice. They don't know, they don't know that you had bronchitis before you went out there because had they known, like the standing ovation would have been times 10.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you have no marketing, but yet sometimes, which is my favorite Jessica Jolia song that she said was her first one out there, 15 million views on TikTok. That's amazing. Just as a Black female woman out here doing it. I mean, I know you got a whole bunch of other ethnicities, going on.
I do. We are the world. That's me.
Yeah, we are the world. Yes, yeah. Irish, you got all kind of stuff going on with you.
Yes.
But yes, I'm just talking to the Black one right now. The Black person.
Fine. That's fine. I did my little 23andMe, and I think out of everything, I was the most Nigerian. So
Are you serious? I'm gonna have to do me.
So interesting. It is fascinating. Like you see the things that you expect, but then you see all these other, like Indian and Sri Lanka and like all these things that you're like, oh shoot, I have that too. That it's cool to know like all the different spaces and places that you come from, and then like for me, like I'm the only person in my family that like loves Indian food. They don't hate it, but they're not like obsessed with it. And I'm like, no, I love it. And then like get these back, and I'm like, oh, because I'm Indian, duh. Like, I like it.
Girl, listen,
tiny bit.
You did not need to do 23andMe. I could have told you that you was Indian by the baby hairs. Yes, you got the prettiest Indian baby hairs, girl. What you talking about? I already knew you had Indian in your family,
girl.
Wow, which ethnicity surprised you the most? Was it the Indian or the Nigerian?
No, girl, I got juicy thighs, so I figured like Nigerian makes sense. But no, I think Indian it was surprising only because I think from my childhood up into adulthood, my great grandmother, we were told she was Irish and Native American and maybe a couple other things. So I knew like the native side, but Indian from India, I just was completely unaware. I had no idea. And then there's like, I mean, I have a specific subscription to 23andMe and it regularly updates. So I think they change the way that they test things. And so if they update the testing, then they can update the sample that you provided. And so sometimes it will show, oh, and this now just popped up too. And it might be the teeniest, tiniest thing. I think I had like 2% like Pacific Islander. Again, like I wouldn't have known that. I would have never known.
Wow, man.
It's so fascinating.
Maybe I'll do that for my mom's birthday. Like where we come from. Yeah. Where we come
because
from.
It makes you feel just, I don't know. It's very interesting to know, where you're coming from. And then if you apply it to the person you've become, for me, there's a lot of things that made more sense. Cause like I said, like specifically with cuisine, like I'm always the one, all of my siblings, I'll try this and I'll try that. And, they're more like, ooh, I just want American and maybe some seafood here and there. And I'm like, no, I want to, and then I'll get attached to something. Like when I was in the hospital with COVID, the only thing I would eat was this little frozen Indian food, Indian meal. It was like a vegetable korma, I think. They tried to give me everything in the world. And I was like, this is making me sick. They brought me that. I'm good. And I had it for like 4 days straight.
Oh my gosh. Dang. You're so diverse, girl. Like, I mean, some people, I'm just a fan of their music, but other people, I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of you as a person.
I appreciate you. I'm a fan of you. Yeah. I'll be a fan of your music if you put some out.
Girl, first of all, I'm gonna need to borrow your vocals on the, while you sleep. I'm gonna have to borrow 3 chords, a whole track, and a windscreen. So it's and a little bit of auto-tune. But listen, I'm a great lip syncer. I'll lip sync something if I know the words. Look, it's time for us to go. You done froze again. It's time. I know. Look, you done froze doing this. You the mannequin challenge. You done froze doing this, girl. Man, I'm gonna wait till you come back. Yes, okay. I can't just hang up on you like my grandma used to do me. All right, Whitney Houston on Channel 5. Click.
Bye.
Bye. Yes. She didn't even say bye. You said bye so you wouldn't be feel embarrassed because the other person is like, damn, she just hung up on you. She had something today. She had something to say. She didn't care what we said. Look at Jessica laughing. Oh, before I go, last question, and then I'll go. Do you have sometimes that you feel down and you feel like you cannot sing?
Down from being sick or down from
We just interpret it the way you want because
because I'm like, no, you know why I would say because generally speaking, even when I am sick, singing and just music in general.
She frozen, y'all. I don't know how we did this whole interview, but we did it.
I'm trying to answer the question, y'all. Lord.
Yes, I know. This is the last question, though. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna try to get it in before I freeze again. Music is what makes me feel better when I'm having bad days or difficult days, or I'm not sure what decision I want to make about something. It kind of centers me. So I think if I'm down, the last thing that is impacted is my desire to sing because it just naturally makes it okay, let's refocus. Let's get back to, whatever it is that we're working towards. I do allow myself the time and the space to be like, oh, I just not feeling it right now, but not long enough to where I'm like, oh, I don't want to sing anymore. And I don't want to this and I don't want to that. Those are the things.
I imagine you singing all day. Yeah,
I sing all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Even sometimes when you're not aware. Yeah. Yep. Even when you're not aware.
Yep.
No, I would annoy you because I'll be like harmonizing on the wrong note. I'd
be like, oh, okay. Try it again. Just
listen. Whatever God allows us to be in person, trust me, I'm gonna have you working on at least one song, not a whole song, just maybe 7 seconds.
I'd love to. I would be honored.
Yay! Listen, just doing karaoke, I realized Bobby Brown is Michael Jackson to me. Okay, I was like, damn, how Bobby do it? I'm winded. I'm already winded. I need breath control. Lord, every little step. Oh, you know what? I really underestimated Bobby.
Shoot, between the singing and the dance moves, yeah.
Yeah,
boy, that boy
good. Girl, I can talk to you all day. But not frozen. Not frozen.
I know.
You back? No. Yes. Listen, love you. Be safe. And we'll chat again soon. But be safe and take care of yourself, okay? For real. We need you.
I will.
We need a healthy Jessica.
I absolutely will. I can promise you that.
Yay. Love you, girl. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Uh-huh.
Peace.
Bye.